I am so glad that we get a chance to do this because the world is changing and it appears kind of between you and me, it appears like we're doing pretty well. Adapt and move forward and innovate beyond and all of those cool things. Now that may be a shameless plug for what we both do, but I think it's a reality.
I think it's not. It's okay. I want to say hello to all the entrepreneurs, all the business owners and leaders. My name is Alex Smazhuk. I'm a strategic marketer and marketing advisor. And today you're watching BizData Podcast, a show by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs about entrepreneurs. I think it's so. And I'm excited to have a casual conversation today with you, Paul Daniels. For the guys who don't know who's this man, it's international speaker, best-selling author, board advisor, and innovational whisperer. I think that we will only talk to those guys who will subscribe to our BizData podcast right now. And to make it even more interesting for other entrepreneurs and valuable, you can leave your questions and comments in the section below the video. So Paul, tell a little bit more to people about what are you doing and why.
I think I need to start with the why to explain the what. So as a child growing up, I was told I was stupid, lazy, slow, a daydreamer. And these labels followed me throughout school, into university, even followed me into my professional career, my corporate career. And though the messages were a little bit different in the corporate career, things like you don't think like we do, or you're different than we are, you're an outsider. They were politically correct. It was the same thing as saying you're stupid and we don't get you. However, by 39 years old, I had already generated $1.3 billion in revenue for clients and customers. And I was executive, I was on board of directors, and I was still having those same conversations. We don't get you. At age 40, I was diagnosed with something which really changed the way I saw things. And I started researching some of the most innovative leaders in history. And this research took me down paths that I never thought I would find, and actually identified some really unique things, people that were incredibly innovative with their profession, that grew and in some cases created new industries. People like Henry Ford, Edison, Da Vinci, our former president, John F. Kennedy Jr., the Richard Branson, Muhammad Ali, Agatha Christie, the list goes on. All of these people were exceptional and did things beyond what was imagined. They're all dyslexic. Dyslexia is in about 10 to 15% of the population, but 20 to 30% of entrepreneurs and nearly 40% of self-made millionaires are dyslexic. In fact, here in the United States, NASA actually recruits people with dyslexia. About 50% of NASA is dyslexic. So it's not a disease or a dysfunction of the brain. It's just the opposite. So at 40 and the last 20, almost 2 years, I've been doing this. I've identified that there are these unique skills found within dyslexic innovators. But because only 10 to 15% of the population has them, I started to translate them. So during my work with clients and companies, I've been able to grow them and do them. I've worked in 31 industries, 27 countries, and now we've generated $21.7 billion. Not to be bragging, that is less relevant than the growth of these organizations. I'm now not just using peripheral thinking, I'm teaching how to think like dyslexic innovators, those that are neurotypical, because the World Economic Forum says that the skills that are needed in 2025, 2030 and beyond, the top skills are these 9 cognitive skills. We have the fewest number of people in the population, working population globally, to fill the need. Of the 9,
this is very cool experience. This is very
Yeah.
cool experience and very close to the first question that I wanted to discuss with you.
Yeah.
Because as you told, that dyslexia for some period people thought that it's like illness, it's a problem, but in fact it's not. How could our knowledge and our previous experience
Hmm.
limit us in finding unconventional solutions, some new solutions?
Absolutely. So that is one of the cores of peripheral thinking, is your ability to see beyond what is common, standard, even what you might consider to be a leading trend, and go beyond that to experiences that you typically wouldn't look to for business insight or for innovation. You're at a football match, you're watching cricket, you're shopping, you're with your children, wherever you are, every experience offers opportunities to see the world from different perspectives when you can step out of your normal path and your normal way of seeing things and look at it from someone else's perspective. And when you can do that, you now can bring that experience in and then be clinical with it. You can break it down into principles. Those principles, you can store those principles. And as you need new ideas and suggestions and thoughts, principles, you refer to your portfolio, your repository of these ideas, and start to combine them. So what I learned from watching a football match and from a weather storm that's coming through my part of the world right now, and the principles there, I can combine those two into potentially a new approach to go to market or to create a different process within my business. Everything that you already have, everything you have, everything that you need to achieve anything you can imagine already exists. You already have access to it. You just need to know where to look for it.
You don't see it, you just don't see it. And that is the main thing why entrepreneurs, why business owners should come to consultants in different areas.
Mm-hmm.
To me as a marketer, to you as a peripheral thinker. And that's like fresh blood. When you're doing something all the time, the same things, 1 year, 2 year, 10 years, you can't see over the box. You see just the things that you are doing all the time regularly, and all your competitors doing the same shit. But the person from the outside coming like a spectator, we don't understand your how to say it, inside kitchen. Yeah, we just
Yes.
analyze the situation like helicopter view, putting all these small puzzles into the picture, and we are showing them, the guys, you have the shortest way to your customer, but you're making some crazy things, some crazy movement that could not help you, that are making
Right.
you far behind your customer. Okay,
Right.
and this is then another question, because
Sure.
sometimes knowledge and sometimes we have problems with emotions.
Yeah.
And how our emotions, maybe you from your perspective can explain us how emotions can provide us with not the best practices, how they can limit us, how they can stop us from
Yeah.
moving to our goal.
There is a saying that feelings are real, but they're not always reliable. So if your emotions do not take into consideration, I'll use periphery, but the other perspectives of other people and other industries in other countries and cultures and the like, then it is very much about you. Look, as entrepreneurs, our goal is to serve the market that or markets that we have chosen. And everything is in service of that market. The same is true with the people we have within our organizations. We serve them by giving them the most opportunity to express their strengths that will help us drive our company's growth. Everyone wants to be part of a winning team, and everyone has strengths and weaknesses. Now, some have a high emotional intelligence. Others are still learning. So as leaders, we need to understand that they look to us for guidance and to get some emotional intelligence training to understand that your perspective is your perspective. Albeit very wise and experienced, it is not all knowing, all seeing. No one's is. So you can improve that by expanding those experiences in moments where there isn't emotion and drawing upon that for those new perspectives so that you can, in moments of distress or challenge or burnout or whatever, pause and say, okay, where else have I seen something like this be resolved faster, better, more equitably, whatever? And allow yourself to go out into your memory and bring those things back so that you're more emotionally prepared for the conversation, for the change in your business, whatever that issue is handling.
I would like to combine maybe two questions, first and the second,
Okay.
that sometimes our fears and previous experience could create such a big stone on our way, making a lot of problems because some entrepreneurs, I would not say about everything, but for example, in marketing, when I come to some customers, they are telling me that, okay, Google Ads, it's not for us, or maybe meta targeting is not for us. It's not working in our niche, in our company, because we made it 2 times 10 years ago and we couldn't reach any results. And they have huge potential, but they have fear that told them that 10 years ago you had a failure. And with this failure, you can't move faster. So how should we approach our failures and how should we use them as a source of knowledge, but not creating the fears from them?
I think you answered it in the way that you asked, because fear, like all other things, is an emotion which is real, but isn't always reliable. When we fail, I know this will sound odd, but I love it because that gives me new insight. If you fail and only take that as a personal defeat, no lesson is learned. No character traits are built. No skills are developed. It is just a black mark or a red mark or a strike through on your success criteria and resume. That is not the way life works. You started as a child, and of course you came out of the womb walking and talking, right? No, of course not. So failure is it is just another step. We fail at things all day long. I failed to be really prepared when we first started today talking, right? But that's not stopping me from having this conversation. So when I look at the failures, I see, I don't want this to sound like a platitude because it comes across on social media so much. Look, a failure is just the next step towards the future. Forget that. Nothing is linear. Don't let fear drive any of your decisions. Fear is a liar. Fear is not part of the business. If you're an entrepreneur, you've already overcome one of the biggest fears. You started a business. How many people do that? And how many continue to succeed? Not many. So be the ones that do succeed by saying, I'm not letting fear choose my path. I'm taking experiences, good, bad, mediocre, and I'm using those to inform my next decisions. And I'm getting those experiences in my industry, with my people, with my clients, and from other sources that have nothing to do with my industry.
Okay, maybe you have some personal tricks how to handle with these emotions, because anyway, emotions, it's something based on physical problems of our brain. We have a lot of connections, constant image in our brain. And if we come to the same situation, do we want or not, emotions are coming and they're pushing our fears. Maybe you have some recipe how to manage all these emotions, not giving them possibility to stop us.
When facing a fear around your business, one of the first questions you ought to ask yourself is, what evidence is there to prove that this fear is real? Take a clinical look at that. What evidence is there of this being true? Back to your example, Alexander. You said, we tried Google Ads twice and it failed. Okay, so you have evidence of 2 times. Second question, what evidence is there to prove that this is not true? Okay, there are people that use Google Ads very successfully. So what do they do that we didn't do? Oh, well, our industry is different. Is it really? They did it a different way. Why not try that way? Why not obviously get it someone that knows this, get it coaching, get insight from other people. So when you're feeling fear, ask, what about this what evidence do I have that this fear is justified, that it's real?
In fact, even the same company with the same product, they can have bad experience a few years ago, but the situation is changing. And even tomorrow, the possibility and all you can do would change. All the world is changing. So in this case, it doesn't matter what experience you had. The much more interesting is what is going on right now on the market. And another one thing about ads I would like to ask, because I think that's the first thing that entrepreneurs coming to marketer. I need some ads to grow sales. But the problem is that any promotion multiplying all the things you're doing. And if you're doing shit, it will multiply shit. You would get problems.
Right. In the manufacturing industry, they talk about automation. And the point is that if you automate a very bad process, you just fail faster, which I'm not afraid of failing faster, but I'm not keen on failing the same time, just faster and faster and faster and faster. I want to learn from each of those. And the same is true with what you're saying. Everything is changing, and yet many things are staying the same. It's the psychological change that needs to take place when fear is a driver for no decision or for a decision, when opportunities exist that could be incredible, that are already proven, that are already existing, and that are being used elsewhere, that you can tap into immediately and use them. I did this with a client in the healthcare industry years ago, and the very long story short is she called me from the patient engagement department of a local hospital and went on holiday, was in Hawaii, called me on a Sunday evening and said, okay, that peripheral thing, I get it now. Here's what happened. And she read me a text that she received from the hotel manager saying, hope your stay is exceptional, et cetera. And she said, I want to do the same thing for people that are in our hospital. I want them to let them know we're going to take care of them. If you have family members, text here and we'll help you understand where the bathrooms are, where is the cafeteria, if you're staying, where hotels and restaurants are, when the doctors are coming, all of that stuff. I said, absolutely. The technology is already there. The process is already there. 90 days later, it was implemented. Now you fast forward to 2024, more than a dozen years later, my friend Jennifer, she's now the chief patient experience officer for a 20 hospital healthcare system. And people in North America, we have this kind of experience all the time.
That's the same situation like with ads. Technology could help you, but they could make more problems, could cause more problems.
So the point is that the solutions are there. It's just, it's your ability to see those solutions, break them into principles, and apply them in unique ways.
But for this, we need to watch the whole image through the eyes of our customer. We shouldn't think only about us. We should try to find out how the customer comes to us. This customer path, we need to feel it first of all. I'm talking about emotions, because a lot of people are trying to sell some values, some characteristics, etc., etc. But that's bullshit, guys. We are living in a world when we can sell everything each other. But I'm trying to make our conversation faster, I think.
I'm with you.
We will come back
to
this question a little bit later.
You're very passionate, and I think it's great. Please continue.
Thanks. I would like to add here one more question about our intuition, because sometimes I understand that, in fact, many people would say that intuition it's something near of feelings, emotions, yeah, but I think that it's something different. Intuition is just the result of knowledge and experience that we already have, and it just we can't find out, we can't manage it on 100%, and our brain just helps us. It gives us just a result. You need this one. And in this case, how intuition could help us to find the unconventional and the best solutions for some period.
Intuition is exactly what you described. Intuition is our history, our body of experiences informing us or giving us a feeling about a situation, good, bad, indifferent. When you have a broad set of experiences, if you're watching, listening to this, and you have been in your industry for decades, I applaud you. That's wonderful. You're an expert. When you expand outside of that and you allow other experiences to start informing your intuition, what you'll find is your intuition will take you down unique approaches, paths, directions that are innovative, that are not normal in your industry, that will set you in a different position in the industry. You will be following that kind of intuition based on a broad set of experiences, both personally and professionally, allows you to innovate beyond the obstacles, before the obstacles. In fact, set the trends instead of following the trends. Be the disruptor, not the disrupted.
Hallelujah, 100%. I just have what to add here that 100 years ago, people didn't have data to analyze, to make some prognosis, etc., etc. Now we are overloaded with data. We can, I don't know, we can measure everything that we could imagine and even could not imagine. And with this amount of data, it's essential to hear our inner voice, our intuition, because our brain could not manage all this data, all the amount of today's data, to give us normal, regular answer to each our question. Sometimes we should not go in too deep to understand some things that we need to do. Okay, Paul. Thank you for your answers. And
You're welcome.
I would like to say a few words to our viewers. If our conversation with Paul gives you some ideas, some insights, please help BizData Podcast become more visible to other people, to other entrepreneurs and business owners. So just like the video right now, leave some comments below and click the bell icon to be the first who would know about the next episodes of BizData Podcast. So let's continue. Now, a little bit more about today's digital world, and sales are essentially made from person to person right now. We have this formula P2P, as social media just blurs all the lines of reality. And that's why I have a few more questions in this area.
Yeah.
First of all, about the personal brand. Why is it so important right now, nowadays, for I think that every company, to communicate with customer through personal brands? Maybe you have some examples from your customers?
Absolutely. Why is it so important? It's never not been important. It's always been important. I know it's crazy. There was a time before the internet. I know. And I was there. I'm one of those old people. So there was a time before that. And there was a time when I would go and meet a client face to face in another city. Crazy. I know. And we didn't do Zooms and we didn't do all right. Business to business has always been human to human. I believe it will always be human to human unless the business to business is a commodity. And therefore, it's just transactional. And sure, get an AI bot on that and help it to negotiate the lowest price and off you go. But when we talk about our businesses and our growth, it is always human. Therefore, human interaction is very important. And the speed at which you can build credibility, that you can build trust, that you can build a going relationship, a true lasting relationship is critical. So having a personal brand, whether that is just a byproduct of your business or whether it is bigger, allows people to sift through the onslaught of, hey, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me, and see, oh, Paul has a couple of kids. In fact, his grandson is going to be 1 on Friday this week. Wow, that might be kind of cool. And he shares some things about his life, not just about peripheral thinking. He talks about the fact that he loves to surf still at 62 years old, and that there are things about you that are very salient to your business that you're not using. So personal branding of you and other people within your organization is key. I've seen many reports recently that have talked about 25 and 2026 being years of corporations hiring social influencers, people that have large followings on social media, in order to gain more brand recognition and more brand awareness. I don't know whether that works or not, but if that is the case, then why would you not want to brand yourself personally? If Coca-Cola is going to hire 50 people because they're brand recognized individuals, why wouldn't you? Our son did this years ago when he was at UCLA Film School, and he did a couple of photo shoots in a pharmacy with Pedialyte, because Pedialyte was trying to get on college campuses for hangovers, of all things. He did a couple of photos. He had a friend who was a social influencer, and the next thing you know, he is the brand ambassador for Pedialyte on UCLA's campus.
Talking about Coca-Cola's marketing, it's unbelievable at all, because we all are thinking about Coca-Cola like about huge company, but in fact, their marketing are built over the one person, and this person is not real. What is the most interesting thing? They created marketing, which we have right now a lot with influencers, but they created it much earlier. And that was when they get to their brand Santa. They bought Santa Claus, in fact. And we believe Coca-Cola, most of people, because we believe to the Santa, because it's Christmas, because it's all this holiday stuff. Right. Okay, so we are jumping in the next question, because I wanted to ask you about the key elements of personal brand, which are essential in your opinion. What is the main things, key things that if you see the influencer, you understand, does this person your, or it's not yours at all?
Right. The personal brand is you. So number one, it must be authentic. I would not write my personal brand in order to attract a persona. The reason being, if I do that, I'm not being true to myself. So my personal brand is personal, professional, and authentic. Saying something just because I know it will get some attention, but that I don't necessarily believe, or that isn't really part of who I am, does no one any value. Doing, on the other hand, being personal and professional and authentic, that's me. So I am what you're seeing here. I'm the same guy. I'm the same guy on LinkedIn. I'm the same guy. I do a little Facebook and other places. I'm the same person that you'd see speaking on a keynote stage, working with board of directors or with small entrepreneurs on helping grow their businesses. This is me. And I might wear a jacket.
Cool. And that is what I like in today's world, because we are open to everyone. We have no borders at all right now. So maybe you will show to our audience a few examples of how are you helping entrepreneurs to build their personal brand from your side.
For me, I don't focus specifically on personal branding. The way I'm helping entrepreneurs around being themselves is recognizing that all of their experiences are valuable to their business. Being a father is important. Being a mother is important. Being a grandmother, being a son, being a soccer coach, being whatever. Those are all experiences that contribute to who you are. So you've heard of work-life balance, right? There is no such thing. There's just life. Why not be authentic all the way through and see the value of all of your experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of those experiences bring value to what you do as an entrepreneur through your business, for your clients, your industry, and your community. So what I help them see is that which they don't see now. What I help them understand is the value of the things that they currently may be dismissing as, oh, well, that's just, that's what I do on Saturday mornings. Coach our kids' soccer team. Yeah, okay, so you run around with 10-year-olds coaching them. What have you learned from that? Oh, well, I've got to be very structured here. Cool. Have you ever had a client that was all over the place? Have you ever considered using that kind of structure with that client to help get them on board? The same thing that you do to get those 10-year-old girls running around the soccer field organized and scoring goals. Maybe you could apply that principle, maybe.
Yeah, we shouldn't think only about our business or only about family or etc. etc. We need to act in different ways, in different niches. And because I know a lot of guys that talking about life-work balance here, I know the guys that can work 12, 14 hours per day. And if you will took this job, took this work from them, they will start struggling because it's the biggest problem for them. They would not have enough energy because they can't live in another way. There are a lot of guys, some periods before the war, I was making some games like Cash Flow for entrepreneurs. And I know the guys who are playing such games like 100 times per year. That means that they are going to 2 places for a week sometimes. And I was asking, okay, man, you have 2 businesses. Where do you got the time for these games? Why are you coming here? And he was explaining that, okay, but it's such a perfect, first of all, networking place. And another, it's just like physical training for your brain, because in the game, it's easier to leave this situation and to get some insights from the game, because you're not losing. In fact, you don't have fears, but you can work with your strengths.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, 100%. Personal branding, it's all about authenticity, which bridges personal, professional, and all life experiences. Bring that to the table as an entrepreneur, as a leader of your business, and watch your people come fully prepared, fully aware when they come to
100%,
work with
100%
you.
so.
And
because entrepreneur is equal to business, but business is not equal to business. You will take 10 products which would be close each other, but all the entrepreneurs, all the business owners would be different, and they would be unique, and people would buy uniqueness of business owner. And that's why we should to tell again to all the entrepreneurs, the guys, you need to come out. You need to show your lifestyle, your way of thinking, your values. This will help you to sell, not only your sales guys, but you first of all.
100%. I guess I hadn't thought that there are people that don't want to do this, because most of the folks that I speak with understand it and act immediately. So thank you for bringing new perspective to me, that there are still people out there saying, I'm just going to keep my private stuff private. Oh, you know what? Look, if you're going through, for instance, my mother fell and broke her hip. I'm not sharing that on social media. She's a very private person. I respect that. Okay, but I can post something that talks about, when you've come up with something that's tragic, here are some things that I've learned from my experiences that you might want to consider. The point is, if you're not doing it now, sorry, you are not just middle of the pack. You're falling far behind, very, very, very far behind. You can catch up quickly, with people like Alexander, but you need to do it now. This is a non-negotiable. You need to do it now. And so do the people in your company. Now, you can't force them to do it, but if they're interested, let them. And their persona, online persona, especially on professional platforms like LinkedIn, does not have to say everything about your business. It doesn't have to be about your business, because remember, business to business sales is human to human. And it's not just the entrepreneur. You have implementation people, you have support people, you have all these other people. When that company buys from you, they want to know who they're working with.
Yeah.
That they're professional, they got it, but they also want to know, are they human? Are they going to be a real pain in the butt to work with? Or is that somebody that I could enjoy having a conversation with?
And it would be more essential in future, because we have AI revolution right now. Everything is changing, and we would have, even right now, we already have AI influencers that are selling BMW, etc., etc. So as once, I think Bill Gates told that if your business would not be online, you would not have business in future. Yeah. But right now, if you as a business owner, business leader would not be influencer, would not be online, tomorrow you would not have your business, because other guys would come and would be on the first place. The audience would see them. So, okay, let's come back to more practical things, more practical questions. Maybe once more, in your opinion, which social media platforms, blogs, or maybe podcast platforms are important for B2B, first of all, and to other businesses in 2025? What could help us to promote our brands?
You know what? I have a friend, his name is Alexander, who is a marketing expert. And he is somebody that I would typically go to with these kinds of questions. But you're asking my personal opinion. So my personal opinion is that business leaders are on LinkedIn. That is the professional platform. That's a very blanket statement. Your business as an entrepreneur may be video production. Well, LinkedIn is good, but you will also want to have Instagram and Facebook and others. You may have your own Vimeo channel. You may have a number of things. So it is dependent upon what it is your business does, what is the basis of your business, the solutions that you offer, and in what media does that solution render itself the best. LinkedIn Live is a terrific place for people to get to know you. Get a client or a customer online and just have a conversation. And don't tee them up to tell them great things about you. Do the opposite. Say, okay, Alexander, when you and I met and we started doing business together, what's one thing you wish I would have done differently? Right? Wow, that's honest. You know what? That's a great point. Actually, since our conversation, we have made some changes in that area, but we've doubled down on that. And I'm glad you brought that up. Now, what did you like about us? And tell me more about your business. Where is it going? Do a 20 or 30-minute LinkedIn Live, record it, and now you've got content for all kinds of things. So basis, LinkedIn, and then what other media platforms are important based on your business. You need to go where your prospects and clients are. So if they're on Facebook, go to Facebook. You want to go where they are. Make sure your messaging fits that and that it's authentic.
I will ask you one more question, and then we'll come back to both of these questions. As you told me, as a marketer, I would share with you my minds of it. Yeah. What is your best platforms and content type? What do you like to watch, to listen, etc.?
What I like as a consumer, I'm on LinkedIn and I like thought leadership. So there are a half dozen people that probably a dozen people that I follow. I will read their post every day. I will comment on their post every day, not to drive more attention to me, but because I'm getting value from it. And the kind of content that I like is thought leadership. Now that can be in all kinds of ways. It can be a list. It could be a list cycle, I think they call it. It could be a carousel. It could be a video. I am a visual person, so I do like some visual stimulation. I like things that make noise, that move, that have color, right? Just the basic stuff. But if it doesn't and it still has value, I will read it and enjoy it and thank them for it. It's part of my morning ritual. It has almost replaced the news for me. So that's my personal preference. Is I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, and I've trying to get my marketing team has been asking me to allow them to do more content on other platforms, and I'm giving them full rein. Just go ahead and do it. I don't have the time to do it, so you can make that happen. And
that's very cool. And your marketing team is right, because as I see as a marketer, the thing that you told about motion, yeah. Anyway, people are reading less and less each day, less and less and less, and video is becoming the first instrument for marketers, 100%.
Yep.
If we are talking about B2B, first of all, I'm absolutely appreciate that you are a fan of the LinkedIn, because it's so, but not all the markets are
Yes.
so active on LinkedIn. It's, for example,
Correct.
it's a little bit struggling in Ukraine. It's just started. But
Absolutely. Yep.
Another platform that I recommend very much, and very first, I think, because it's the second search system, it's YouTube. Because it's the Google reading all the things that there. Google understands video, it translates it, it makes wonderful things. And right now, YouTube also have standard posts like regular Facebook or LinkedIn, so you can put text there. So at least LinkedIn and YouTube, each business owner, each brand should have. Okay, Facebook could be. The main idea of this year and next year is that we should not, we should stop thinking about only one platform and how should we be there, what type of content, etc., etc. We need to make different iterations, try different formats, and just see the reaction of our audience. And the main thing here, that we need to create some media platform for us. For example, I like in this situation, I like very much Gary Vee. This man builds pretty nice brand. I understand that he have already like 50 guys who are creating content for him for one personal brand, and this is the coolest example. But not all the guys could make it.
Right.
So in this case, the thing we are doing right now as BizData Podcast, and the same formats each entrepreneur could create. It's not too it's easy. In fact, we have 1 hour recording video and just can cut it in future and put in like reels, like YouTube shorts, etc., etc. And we would have, from 1 hour, we can create a lot of content.
Oh, months worth.
We can go live, and we can go live. The same thing.
Yes.
So as a marketer, I would recommend this 100%. And we need to understand that we are living in such period that 4 posts per day at LinkedIn, it's not much right now. If you're creating 4 posts for a week, you are not on the first shelter 100%. You are somewhere else. So that's why we need to create more and more content. And I recommend to come to the video format.
Here's a thought. I'm an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur. Here's how simple this can be. And I'm making this up on the fly. I'm looking at the camera. Hi, I'm Paul. And this last weekend was an interesting weekend because I moved my mother from an assisted living back to her home. What was so exciting was to see how, when she was there at home, her dogs and my father loved on her, and her shoulders started to shrink, to go down. She became more relaxed. It made me think about the way the peripheral thinking allows people to relax in situations because they confidently know they already have the answers. They just simply need to pick the right ones at that moment. Hope you have a great day. If you like it, comment below. So what was that? 25 seconds.
100, perfect. Hallelujah.
Yeah, do
Guys,
that.
come to Paul, come to me, and we would help you because
Go to him.
my philosophy, my philosophy is that marketer do not understand your business. I was not creating your businesses, guys, but I'm helping you to handle all your marketing because I'm coming like a person from the outside. As we started this meeting today, that we are looking at your business from helicopter view without your emotions, without your fears, and we just find out the shortest way to your customer. If you want to boost your business, you need help from person from the outside. That's why you need to come to me and to Paul and to other consultants. So the very last question, maybe in this way, as you're starting your brand, your own brand, personal brand, do you evaluate the effectiveness of it in some way or not?
Oh, yes. I'm an entrepreneur, so I measure everything.
For your personal brand, what key metrics are essential for you?
My personal brand is everything about me, which includes my business and my speaking and my book that's coming out and my advisory firm and et cetera. So my personal brand is very important, and knowing that it's performing well is important because I don't get it right the very first time. I rarely do. So it needs that iteration. The things that I'm tracking are the number of people that find me. How do they find me? Where did they start when they started looking for me? Right, SEO kind of things. Did they engage? Are we having a conversation? Even if they choose not to come with me, what are some of the indicators that they may not be a good fit for me? I know it's crazy, but I don't serve the whole world. I have people that I do really well with.
You should not.
Right, exactly. I'm being sarcastic. So I want to see, am I reaching that audience? And my personal brand is not just my profile. My personal brand is the 5 posts I do a week. It's the newsletter that I put out. It's all of those things, and I'm tracking those, and I'm looking at them over periods of time. This, in fact, to go to your point about the video, my top 3 performing posts from 2024 all were video. All.
And
they
this is
were
reality.
2x.
This is new reality.
Yeah, as a consumer, at least 2x value or engagement than any of the others. Now, what have I done about that? Nothing until you and I just talked, and I took a little note right here that says more video, exclamation point.
That's cool.
So I'll be doing more video. Thank you for the free advice, my friend.
That's cool. I hope that all the audience would hear this advice and would start make a lot interesting videos, first of all. Okay, dear viewers, thank you all for presence and active participation in comments. If you forgot to hit subscribe to our channel, now is the best time to do it. And in the video description, we will also put our links to social media profiles, to websites, each BizData podcast participant, so you can follow us on social media, join us for next podcasts, and get as much as you want cool, interesting insights, information, knowledge from us. Have a nice day. Thank you very much, Paul, for your presence and such a nice talk.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Alex. I really enjoy the fact that we're friends, and I appreciate all that you do. It's just it's awesome.
Thanks, Paul. See you on the next podcast.
Yes, indeed.